Hey guys, how's it going? I just got back from hiking the Pemi Loop in New Hampshire. It was one of the most beautiful multi-day hikes that I've done in my life. And yeah, it was so much fun, but I've got this pack that needs some unpacking. So I figured I would just go through it and show you everything that I took with me on a 3-day backpacking adventure. So starting with the pack itself, I have the Hyperlite Southwest. So happy with this purchase. I love Hyperlite. The quality of their products is amazing. Super lightweight, super durable, and yeah, just all around a very, very good pack. Starting with the outside of the pack, I have 2 NALGENE water bottles. Obviously it depends on the hike you're doing, depends on how long it is, how many stops of water there are, what season it is. I knew that this was going to be a pretty dry hike for the most part, especially a super long section. So I made sure that I had 2 of these because I wasn't going to be able to fill up with water as consistently as I would have liked to. If it was in spring or the rainy season, it probably only needed 1 of these, but yeah, always just want to make sure that you have enough water. So those are the 2 NALGENEs, just again, super nice and heavyweight, or not heavyweight, lightweight, but very like solid and durable, and nothing's really going to break this or puncture it, which is nice. I kept all of my food in the front section of my pack over here. So my food consisted of, I literally just have the wrappers and packets right now, but 2 packets of ramen noodles, 4 packets of brown maple sugar oats, and then I had 3 freeze-dried meals. These ones were, what brand was this? I don't even know. Peak REFUEL. Honestly, they're all kind of the same. Yeah, I just had 3 different kinds. This one was a chicken coconut curry, which is actually pretty good. And it had 850 calories. So yeah, all of these range between like 800 and 1,000 calories. And when you're burning, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day on the trail, those come very much in handy. I also had some wilderness wipes. Always a good thing to have if you need to go do your thing in the woods and dig a hole, or you need to wash your pots or pans or knife and fork, whatever it is. Yeah, just always a handy thing to have with you. And they're biodegradable, which is nice. I still have a pack of ramen. I also made sure that I had my trusty SPORK. It's a spoon, fork, and kind of a knife on one edge as well. Also very lightweight, very durable. You don't need to have multiple knives and forks with you. This one thing does the job for everything. So always make sure to have that with me. Up next on the outside of my pack, I had my bear spray. Obviously hiking up in New Hampshire, there are 100% bears there. So just want to be safe. I didn't see any bears there. There weren't any signs of bears, so that's always good. But yeah, when you're hiking in any bear country, you just want to make sure that you are protected if indeed that situation arises. Not that even if I saw a bear, I'd probably need to use it since it's just black bears, but yeah, always just want to be safe. So made sure I had my bear spray with me. Last item on the outside of the pack before we dive into the pockets, I had my Garmin satellite phone for SOS and emergencies, my INREACH Mini. I've never had to use it, luckily, and that's the point. It's almost kind of like a insurance for the outdoors, but it allows me to text people if I need to in super remote situations. It also has a SOS button, so if I need mountain rescue or somebody to come save me if I've broken my leg on the trail, luckily this will do the job for me. But hopefully I don't ever have to use it. And it just sits and looks cool on my bag and makes me look like a professional, even though I'm not really. Going into my side pockets here, I carried my phone in this pocket here, just using AllTrails, using maps, navigation, all that kind of stuff went in there. In the other pocket, I had my phone charger. I had a tea bag that didn't turn into any tea, and the bag got ripped open, so that'll be for later. And then I had my pocket knife. Always good to have. Leatherman Signal pocket knife. Got some pliers on here. You got a knife. Pretty much every basic tool that you would need is in this little bad boy. So always make sure I have that with me. Unless I'm traveling internationally, of course, then you can't really do it unless you check your bag. So that concludes the outside of the pack. Let's dive into the middle console now. First things first, I have this Hyperlite dry bag, and within here, it contains my drone, my DJI Mini Pro 4 drone. I think that's what it's called. So I got the remote controller, I got extra batteries, and then I have the actual drone itself, which is this really cool, neat, mini, little tiny drone that's also super light. It's only 249 grams. So I think it's worth it to carry this around with me when I'm in these beautiful places. I actually didn't use it too much on this hike. I got a couple shots in the beginning, but in the alpine areas where it was more busy, they actually didn't allow drones there. So I didn't fly it up in the higher altitudes as much as I wanted to. But I'm still happy with the shots I got, and I didn't mind carrying it around. It wasn't too heavy. So that's in that bag. I also had my trusty headlamp for when it gets dark. Obviously, this is just it's actually an older Black Diamond headlamp, nothing fancy. Black Diamond Storm, just takes like the batteries. I actually think I would rather get like a rechargeable one instead of the batteries, just so that way if it does die on the trail, you can still charge it if you need to with a portable battery. Yeah, and you don't have to keep buying batteries all the time. Speaking of batteries, I brought along my SmallRig V-mount battery, which is actually a piece of filmmaking gear, and this is probably one of the heaviest things I carried with me. Not super necessary to bring something this big, but I love this battery just because it's so versatile. It has like a whole bunch of different ports on here. It lasts such a long time as well. Like I've never run out of battery with this thing. So I can charge my phone probably 5 or 6 times on this one battery. I can charge my drone, I can charge my camera. So having this really makes a difference while filmmaking and photographing on your adventures as well. So I made sure to bring that. Up next, we have my little JetBoil stove. This is how I boil my water. This is how I cook my food, and all in this neat little container. So obviously you just have the pot, which pops out just like that. I then have my little propane can over here, which is just JetBoil, Jet Power. It was like $5 from REI, and it's a nice small little package. You don't need to buy the super big propane tanks, especially if you're doing a short trip. Like this is all you need. So I got that, and then I also just have this top piece that lights and gives you the flame. I don't actually know what it's called, but yeah, super handy. Also from Amazon, it was really cheap as well, and actually better than the JetBoil one I got with the JetBoil, because this one just has a button where you can like click it and it lights as well. So yeah, that's really nice. So you don't need a lighter to light the fuel coming out. I did bring a lighter though as well. I always just bring a lighter in case, but yeah, most of the time I don't need it. I have a long stretch of paracord. I used this to hang my food up in a tree when I was asleep at night, so the bears didn't come and ravage my tent for my food, and just made sure this was well away from my campsite, and then tossed it over a tree and hoisted my food bag up, which at night I would keep my food in another dry bag. This one currently contains all of the clothes that I brought. So I would just take my clothes out and then put my food in here and then hoist this up. So that's how I did that. Speaking of clothes, I brought like a fleece base layer. I brought hiking pants, 1 pair of long pants. I brought 2 pairs of underwear. I brought 2 t-shirts, which are now so sweaty and gross, but I'm showing you the real deal here. I brought a down jacket, which folds up really small, which is nice. And this one's from KWAY in South Africa, where I'm from, but you can get them pretty much from any outdoor brand. Like Patagonia has them, North Face has them. Yeah, literally wherever you go, we'll have those. Socks. This is just like regular like soccer or sport socks. It's nothing fancy. You don't really need to get fancy with super specialized hiking stuff. Yeah, I brought 2 pairs of socks, more underwear, and socks. And those were all the clothes that I brought for the trip. It is very smelly. Taking it out of here right now, you wouldn't want to be smelling it. But when you're out in the wilderness, you don't want to be carrying a full wardrobe. Everyone out there smells, everyone is sweaty. You're sleeping by yourself, maybe, probably, unless you're hiking with somebody else. But even then, they're going to be sweaty as well. There's no showers, so you really just have to embrace the smelliness in exchange for a lighter load and wearing the same clothes again. I don't think it's too bad, but obviously it's your call. But those were the clothes that I took, which all fit in this nice little dry bag. I have my water filter. This is the BeFree Katadyn water filter. It's about half a liter, so it gives you enough where you can fill this up, and then I normally just like squeeze it into my bigger NALGENE bottles as well if I need to, if I'm filling up from a stream or something. But luckily the hike I just did had some fresh water along the way, so I didn't need to use it all the time, but there was a time where I did need to use it, and always comes in handy. There's a lot of different ways that you can filter your water. There's iodine tablets, there's bigger pump systems, but I find that this is just the easiest and lightest and smallest that you can do it. So I don't want to overcomplicate things, and again, I want to keep my pack as light as possible, so this is a great addition. Okay, before we get into the bigger pieces, this is my emergency sack, if you will. These are all the things that I hope I don't have to use on the trip, but I take with me in case I do. So this is my small little mini medical bag, my first aid kit for a day hiker. It's got pretty much all the basic medical things you need, like bandages and band-aids and antiseptic and all that good stuff. So didn't have to use it, which is good, but you never know whether it's for yourself or you come across another hiker that's been injured. It's just always good to have more medical-ish things. I have a little jar, a little container of Vaseline, which I actually bought in Mexico a while ago, so this is in Spanish. But yeah, another good thing to have when you're hiking and you get all hot and sweaty and things start to chafe. I did have to use this, so I'm very happy that I did have it, and it made the rest of my hike a lot more comfortable. And then other things in here, I just have sunscreen, I have toothpaste and my toothbrush, so just the basic toiletry kind of things. I have an emergency poncho, which actually, my mom bought this a while ago, and I kind of made fun of her for buying it initially because it just looks ridiculous, but I'm happy that she did buy it. I haven't had to use it yet, but it's so much lighter and easier than carrying a big rain jacket, especially if there isn't rain predicted. Then this really just is in the last worst case scenario where the weather changes quickly and you don't have a rain jacket with you. A poncho will do. It's super light, it folds up small, and I'm happy I have this, so thank you, Mom. I then have some mosquito repellent bracelet things. Also didn't have to use that, which was cool, but again, depends on the season that you're in. I have an emergency whistle in case no one can find me in the woods and I need some help. I got that. And then, like I said earlier, I have a lighter just in case as well. Didn't need to make any fires, so that was all good. Up next, I have my Therm-a-Rest NEOAIR. A sleeping mat is kind of a necessity unless you just want to sleep on the hard ground. But I love this mat. It, again, is super lightweight, it folds up really small, very easy to blow up. I can have it set up within 2 minutes, and yeah, a good one. Up next, along with my sleeping mats, I have my sleeping bag, which I keep in another Sea to Summit dry bag. And this is actually a sleeping quilt, not necessarily a sleeping bag. And I like the quilts because if it is hotter, then you can open it up and it's more like a regular blanket as well. So this opens up pretty big, so you can seal it shut like this as well. So it is more like a traditional sleeping bag, or you can open it up so it's more like a blanket. But yeah, this is the Hyperlite -7 degrees Celsius or 20 degree Fahrenheit sleeping quilt, and yeah, I love it. I'm a fan. So that's that. And then last thing in the pack is my tent. I have the Mountain Hardwear NIMBUS one-person tent. These are the poles, this is the tent, as well as the footprint and the cover, and yeah, everything you need in this small, neat little package, and it's good. I like it, I enjoy it, it's easy to set up, and it does the job. I think when it comes to gear, you don't You don't need the NIMBUS one-person tent. You don't need the mountain hardware. You don't need the North Face, the Patagonia, the Hyperlites. Like, this is what I have and what I've built over the many years of hiking and doing these kind of things. But you don't need these specific things. You can start small. I've done years of hiking with a shitty camera backpack that's not designed for backpacking, that's not designed for hiking, but you can make it work. So even though you're seeing all these things and maybe it informs some of your purchasing decisions, yeah, just know that you don't need all of this stuff. You don't need the best or the latest things. Just get out there, get outside, try things, use what you have first. And if that really doesn't work, then you can upgrade. And if you're really into it, then it'll be worth that upgrade as well. But yeah, just start small, start with what you have and go from there. That is everything in my pack out here for you to see. At the end of it all, my pack was around 25 pounds with all of my gear and my food, including my camera as well, which I carried, which is filming this right now, which is the Sony FX3 with my tripod as well. That probably added like another 5 pounds. So call it 25 to 30 pounds overall. And by the end of it, once I ate all my food, it might've been 20 to 25 pounds. So a relatively light pack for a 3-day hike. It was everything I needed. There was nothing I didn't use apart from the emergency things, so I'm happy about that. So that's always a good sign that the packing was good and sufficient. And there's nothing that I wish that I did bring that I didn't have. So that's why I wanted to make this video, because I feel like it was everything I needed for a 3-day hike. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to answer any in the comments, or even make a separate video about another specific piece of gear. I've been thinking about making a Hyperlite Southwest pack review as well. So if you're interested in that, let me know. And yeah, I think that is that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this quick little gear unpacking. If you haven't seen the PEMI Loop video yet, I'll link it down in the description below, or you can find it on my channel. It was such a cool adventure, and yeah, let me know what you think. But for now, get out there, make some plans, get out on the trail, and yeah, hopefully I'll see you out there.